So I kind of forgot. Did you? Yeah, did you do a CD audio version of the Heretic music as well as the MIDI stuff?
The Heretic stuff?
Yeah, sorry, Hexen. My
Yeah.
bad.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Hexen. No, that was the stuff like that was done by Id. I think Id would put it together.
Oh,
I'm
right.
trying to remember how that happened. When we were starting this and I was working on it, it was going to be exactly like Heretic. So it was just the MIDI versions for everything.
Right.
And then somewhere around the end, I can remember things were changing a little bit, and they're like, "Yeah, we could do a CD one, do CD music." And of course, it wasn't really like designed that way. It was going to just go, I think, went out through like a sound canvas,
Sure.
and then just got recorded to that format, which meant, of course, too, that it had to get chopped down because I think the total amount of minutes for music in Hexen is probably like about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Much.
And then
Whoa.
on a CD, I can't remember how big those are, 500 megs, something like that. So, and then you had the first track with the game data on there, and then you had whatever was left to put your music on. So they had to like kind of pick just some of the songs, which is what you get on there. I got it written down somewhere, which tracks they actually picked on there. So if you do play that, the music is different, but you're missing a lot of the stuff. Yeah, they're like
Gotcha.
22 things. Music.
Right, gotcha, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so I don't know
yeah,
what people think, if that's a better or not. The idea is, at least by using the sound canvas, they had one version out. Everybody heard the same way, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, I like the general MIDI, kind of the normal MIDI sounds. I think they're great. But yeah, I only realized that. Yeah, of course, the CD audio, you only have a certain amount of minutes with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that kind of like became the whole thing going on to new games after that, like when we did Necrodome and then like Hexen 2 and stuff, those games, because I can remember that having to be the consideration. It's like, how much space do we actually have to work with in putting the music on there? And looking back at that point and saying, wow, I know this is going to sound better. It's going to be really high quality and all that. We have a lot more instrument samples to work with. But look how much like real estate I'm going to lose, how many different pieces I can't do anymore.
Right.
So I mean, that's definitely something that suffered a little bit there. So
yeah, that's interesting. Like, because the MIDIs are only like 30 kilobytes or like something around that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're like
yeah.
Right, they take no room at all. It seems like, and then so I don't know. Maybe it's a good discussion for people. Was it a better thing to go to the high quality music and have less to work with?
Right. I mean, the Hexen 2 soundtrack is another awesome soundtrack, and of course it's all audio. Yeah, and it's cool. You've brought in some songs even from Heretic, like the Cathedral song, which is really cool remix. And it's like, it's not just a remix, you reorchestrated it and changed it a little bit, which is really cool.
Yeah, I hope I was gonna say, I hope that people like didn't think that was some sort of like a cop out, like, oh wait, these are the songs we know already. But those years were like some of the most hectic and crazy times I had. Like Hexen 2 and then Mage Slayer, TNP was going on, and I was creative director of that, and we're still finishing up Necrodome, which took forever. Wow. And so I know when you mentioned like Hexen 2, I'm like, I don't know, what am I going to say about that? Because I'm like, it's kind of a blur, because everything was it was so much work at one time and so crazy. But I didn't think there was anything wrong with the idea of saying, look, we're back in this world. We've got a history with it. We've got songs and music that some people may think that this is cool to kind of like bring them back and do some reorchestrations of them. And then I just add little stylized elements to kind of tie them into some of the looks. Like there was an Egyptian area, Hexen 2, and so I'm like, well, okay, let's bring sort of a reedy oboe type instrument in to give that feel. Those kinds of things. So, but it was too much work to try and do all at once on all those projects. So I think it was cutting corners a little bit, but maybe in that case it helped that it was on CD as well.
Sure.
So it kind of brought things down a little bit.
Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't think it was a cop out. I love hearing, you know, these old songs in the newer games, and I don't know. I think it's great, but you know, if there were to be a Heretic 3, well, like, you know, what would you bring back? I mean, obviously you'd be the man to go to do the soundtrack, no doubt. That's if you wanted to take it on. I'm sure
Yeah.
you probably would.
Yeah. I would love to do that. I mean, that'd be great.
It'd be amazing. But would there be a song that you'd bring back to Hexen 3 if it was the thing?
Well, the Winnowing Hall.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
You know what I think would be interesting is to have people maybe get a vote, like what people's favorite songs were or most recognizable songs, and then kind of do reworks of those.
Yeah.
I think that would be good.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Winnowing Hall would be cool.
Crucible was another one I liked.
Crucible, yeah. And even something from Heretic, because, you know, Heretic is essentially a prequel to Hexen. So, like, you know, like Cathedral or the Docks, the first level in Heretic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sometimes, in my own thinking about these two games, get a little confused about, were they really in the same world? Did they cross over? You know, they're definitely similar, but I think there's something different about the two worlds.
Right. Yeah, I think are they different? I think they are different worlds, because it's beyond this is called Hexen Beyond Heretic, isn't it? Is that's the full name?
I think so.
Yeah.
There were certain meetings I started to miss, and I'm like, wait, what is Hexen? Is it Heretic now? Or like I said, it was supposed to be Heretic 2 first. Then it's like, no, it's Hexen. And you had different people, you lost the elf and everything. Like, well, what's going on here? So it's more like in later years, I've learned more just by listening to what other people have found out about the history of these games and the worlds and stuff. So
sure.
So I don't know, you know, maybe it's a question, which music can you mix the music from Heretic and Hexen between each other or not? But some of my other favorites, I like the swamp music, all those.
Yeah.
I thought it fit that level really well. It was nice to do something kind of drony and slow like that. The Wastelands was a good one. I like the Grove, Sacred Grove sound. Fantasy Dungeon, the Wizard Tomb song, it's good.
Yeah, they're all great tunes.
There were 4 chapel ones, but I like the first one a lot.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I got some favorites, and I've always thought it'd be, without losing the songs themselves, it'd be fun to work and do some reworks of the pieces a little bit, and you know, just bring them up, you know, with the similar instruments, but increase. Just kind of improve some of the quality of those things, I guess.
Right. Yeah. And of course, like, we've no restrictions now on the amount of music in games. So yeah. That's true.
But yeah, actually, you know, the whole change that went from like going to the MIDI arrangements to being able to do CD versions, and that was a little daunting too, because all of a sudden there were almost too many choices. Instead of the 128 instruments, it's like you had unlimited.
Right.
And I had I got like equipment wise, I got like a Kurzweil. It's a K2500 RS.
Oh,
and that thing had a ton of instruments on it, and instead of just focusing on design and composition, sometimes I'd find myself just lost going through all the instruments in there and listening to them, and then they're like, okay, and then I can change this and do all these other things with it, and so it was a challenge. It kind of like stopped me for a little while. I had to figure out how I was going to compose when there were too many choices.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like, too many choices, and like, you know, your what's the word I'm looking for? Productivity kind of goes out the window, because you're sitting there going, boop, no, don't like that sound, boop, next one, oh, I like that one, but will I use it? No, next one, and you just, it's a vicious circle.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You can just get lost in that. Search for the perfect instrument, the perfect sound, and then you open an editor and you can edit that sample forever.
Right.
So I think for me, being a traditional musician who just started with wind instruments and that, I think what saved me was to say, just go back to the originals, orchestral instruments, or piano and things like that, and work off of those. And then if you feel like you're missing something that needs to be replaced, or something that'll add in there that's maybe new, a new kind of sample, or or just an electronic version of things, just go ahead and look for those. Don't let that be what drives you.
Yeah, yeah. So are you still in touch with all the other guys from Raven Software?
Let's see. Pretty well. I actually was over at the Raven offices just a little bit
cool.
a little while ago. Yeah, saw a couple of people I know there, and a number of the guys work over at Human Head, and I had seen them over there a while ago too.
Cool.
And actually, we've been playing Sea of Thieves with Steve Raffle.
Oh man, I love Sea of Thieves.
So that's a good time. But yeah, I know they're all still, or a number of them are still around here.
That's cool.
And anytime you get together, it's like, this is what we talk about.
Oh really?
Yeah, still working on Heretic, Hexen, that kind of thing. And it'd be interesting to ask everybody if you want to work on a new version or whatever, if you could.
Yeah.
But for years afterwards, when we were doing other games, which were cool, we got to work on some great products. But I think, everybody there was always like, well, it would be, fun. We got to do Heretic 2, and then it kind of just ended after that.
Right.
But we would have loved to come back to the franchise here.
Oh man, make it happen somehow.
Yeah.
Me and like hundreds of thousands of other fans of the game.
Well, it's good to know that there's still people out there who want to play it. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
At the time, we were told that fantasy just was not a good genre to be in, but then that was before like Lord of the Rings came out.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that movie came out and it kind of hit the mainstream, and regular people were loving fantasy, and I thought, oh, maybe this is a way to get back into things.
Yeah, that's it. Because what year was Heretic 2? It would have been 2000, was it?
Let's see, Heretic 2, 97 and 98 we worked on that.
Wow, yeah, 98 it came out. So yeah, it was before Lord of the Rings, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I think now, almost any genre can be popular with movies and games and things that are around, and with the internet, you can find an audience just about anywhere.
Sure.
for any genre. So maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a future for Hexen and Heretic still. And
oh yeah, it'll be so good. I'm sure it would break the internet for a day if if one of these games were to just if an announcement was made or something.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a shame that they're sitting someplace, or at least the rights to them are, and I don't really know who would have that or whatever, but they may just not be aware that people are still interested in it. All right, I'm running around like crazy. I don't know.
Yes, it's exactly the same as me. Just running around, hoping to see a switch or something.
So familiar. I feel like I'm back in the day of building this hall, working on this. I'm just trying to test the sound for this thing. Where is it?
Where's that sound?
Yep.
Yeah.
How do I get there?
I'll be doing a lot of cutting in this video. It's this is where Scott and Kevin get lost. Oh man.
A lot.
A lot. Okay, yeah, we got that key. Okay.
What is? Oh, that's funny. There's still a splatted mage body on the ground here.
Yeah, saw that. Yep, that's big. Oh man. So funny.
There it is.
Oh,
Oops.
so good. Yeah. He's there, flat on the ground.
I would think that in the talk we had on Heretic covered a lot of the basics about maybe me and how I did some things and that kind of So it's even coming in Hexen, while it's a much bigger game and it's got a lot more things going on in it.
Right.
It's kind of a just kind of an evolution upwards.
Sure.
Of what was there before, so.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's like an evolution, like a slightly different, slightly different approach, but yeah.
So I don't know if there's other questions that other people have, or do people ask you questions at all?
Yeah, most of them are pretty happy, very informative. Learned a lot from them. Kevin Schilder is a genius.
Jeez.
There you go.
Oh boy, that's nice, right?
That's some nice things to say there.
We all want to get at some point in our career where somebody says that once.
yeah. And and then I'm done. I'll pack my stuff. Like, yeah, that's grand.
Yep.
Like,
I don't need any more reviews.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I can remember just like when we first did Heretic, and all of a sudden we're done with the game. Like, well, did we do good? How'd it go? And like, well, there will be reviews. Oh,
right.
Really? Reviews? And suddenly the magazines, like you said, came out. Those were the only places you get.
Right. Yeah.
And you're like just bated breath. How did they say? I know we got great reviews, but then every once in a while you get a first little thing. Well, this is okay. And I learned that it's like not everybody's gonna love everything you do in this business.
That's exactly it. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean. Yeah, it's I don't know, these games. I mean, this game in particular was brilliant, but see, one comment here on the Hexen soundtrack on YouTube. We need more dark fantasy games.
More dark fantasy games. Yeah,
and it's got loads of likes. It's like, yeah, it's mad, isn't it? We were just talking about that.
Yeah. I kind of wondered. I haven't looked out there to see what's really around. For a while, I played Demon Souls, and that was pretty good.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't played that one.
Very challenging. It's kind of like these games where you learn what you're doing, or you get killed pretty easily.
Right.
Yeah. So I would love to see more. I mean, this is kind of my fun genre to be in, and I think there's probably people out there who would like it.
Yeah. So,
And
definitely.
these games are good too, because you can just jump in, run and gun, and play multiplayer, play co-op. That was a big deal to me.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of that where you can kind of team up and go in a little group and run your adventure.
Yeah.
So
I don't know why that is. A lot of games recently don't have a lot of co-op in them.
No.
The PvP thing is pretty popular now, which is cool. I love PvP. It's good fun, but I love a good co-op game. Playing with my buddies and just chilling out, and it's great.
Yeah.
And thankfully I was at the time when I was playing these games, Doom, Heretic, there were so many co-op games that you could play, Duke and Shadow Warrior, and they're so much fun. they're so much fun. Like,
I feel like the co-op games, they kind of like, they make you laugh, and they make you like kind of cheer each other on and everything for that. And then the PvP games are fun, but they kind of just get you mad.
Right.
I just like get
super competitive.
Killed like everybody's my enemy. It seems like I take it. It's like it feels personal. The head again, like. So I guess all our personalities come out and we find out what we really like to do. But I love the co-op games. That's why I'm playing Sea of Thieves right now.
Oh man. Oh, it's great. Yeah. It's so awesome. So much fun. Yeah. So is there anything that you're doing at the moment?
Oh, like what am I doing right now?
Yeah. Apart from the top secret stuff, but that's
apart from the top secret. Yeah, there's been something to work on that I can't really talk about, which is
that's
good.
Cool.
Okay, so I mean that's nice to keep me busy doing something like that.
Cool.
It's been pretty quiet otherwise. I do a little bit of work. I still have my contract business here, and kind of end up working for local companies and small type things. Some ways that's nice, have a little space, but I definitely would be open and looking for other projects. But I realized how unique it was to have the chance to work at a game studio doing that, AAA type games, and it's not just something you can just pop over next door and do at the next company or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, but it's nice to have. It's been fine to have a little variety and stuff I do. So
Yeah, I think we talked in the last one when we were playing Heretic with the how important the team is and how everybody works off each other and the chemistry and all that combined, and then making the game and everybody's input in it is really important, and artistically how everything evolves and like that's how these games are made with all that. All the attention to the detail and the love that you guys gave it, so it's pretty awesome. Like,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that kind of says it all. It's, to me, it kind of even goes back to like being in a band. It's like it's hard to get the band together again and to get that group together that kind of clicks. After because I tried to regroup again with a couple of different people over years past when I was at Raven, and never quite came back the same way. So you realize kind of how special it is, how unique that is, the opportunity is. So, but the future is always open. So I never know what might be coming next around the corner here. I never would have thought I'd be doing this kind of thing with you today, and here we are. And
24 years later.
And just that we talk about and say this is still fun. And so you never know when somebody else says this deserves a remake or a revitalization or something like that. So
it'd be great. I'd love to see a remake of this. A remake or a sequel. I don't know either which one. But there is so many 90s games remakes that have been released over the last couple of years. Like there's the Shadow Warrior franchise. There's Rise of the Triad. Let me see, Wolfenstein. Obviously, and like Doom is the other big one. And of course, System Shock is coming out soon again. So there has to be room for a Heretic Hexen game. Has to be.
Maybe. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, and like hopefully it will happen. But I don't know what else.
And the movie.
And the movie. Oh man, there has to be a movie.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay, so if there was a movie, what composer would you get other than yourself to work with you, or do the soundtrack?
Would be an awesome thing is if somebody would at least I haven't done professional composing at that level, but I'd love to just work with somebody like that and just be involved and kind of like bringing it to life and taking the ideas here and doing a full orchestration for that.
Oh yeah,
it's been a while since I did that kind of work, but I could be involved in it. So John Williams would probably have to do it.
Oh wow, that'd be my choice.
Yeah. Although I love I've always liked stuff like from Danny Elfman. He just
yeah, and he has that he likes that kind of dark fantasy kind of stuff. He's good at it. For sure.
Pretty versatile.
But
oh well, little dreams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's been super fun, Kevin, and thanks again so much for doing this, taking your time out and.
Well, you're welcome, Scott. I appreciate you coming back and giving me the opportunity to come here and talk about Hexen some more and just playing the game. Playing the game like this is so much fun because I haven't done this in a while as well. So. Yeah, and I'm really grateful for your interest in the Composer's Play stuff you're doing with me and other composers, and how it's kind of keeping these games alive, and also I think giving attention to the audio part of the games, which obviously is near and dear to my heart, and I think other people as well. And I'm glad people are interested, and there's always something to kind of learn from it. And,
absolutely.
It's fun to go back and talk to the people and who've done these things before. And if anybody ever wants to ask me questions, please do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
talk about
for sure. I'll send them over to you.
Okay.
If I get any questions, I'm sure we'll get some more. And it's it's been super fun, and I'm like if you're not busy in the future, if you want to do Heretic 2 or even Hexen 2, because like Heretic is another. Heretic 2 and Hexen 2 are other really really good soundtracks. So and we could talk. And it'd be cool to talk about them because it's different from all the MIDI stuff. And yeah, there's other stuff like, you know, did you record with, you know, did you record any instruments in with, did you record, you know, with microphones, or was it all purely, you know, sample based? But yeah, maybe we could do that for another time if you.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, like Heretic 2 for me was a unique thing, and maybe one of my more satisfying things to work on too. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, love that one.
Cool. Yeah, and I loved Heretic 2. It was great. the step out of the first person thing was cool. Yeah, cool, man. Listen, I really appreciate you doing this, and I'll definitely I will absolutely catch you again soon.
Okay, my pleasure, and thanks for spending the time with me. Oh, you got a guy right behind you.
Oh, we got a guy. On that note.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks again, Scott. Take care.
Yeah. Cheers, man.
Right. Yep.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. You bet.
We're getting attacked. Just as we're leaving.
They're like, get out of our map.